Vanuatu. So in Vanuatu, players are basically entrepreneurs on the island of Vanuatu, and we're trying to earn prosperity points to win the game. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So at the start of the round, everybody has to pick a role. Now these roles all basically help and modify the different actions in the game. So typically you want to figure out, what you want to do on your turn, and then you're going to pick the role that kind of goes with that. So let's see, the purple player, he's going to go for this one, which will let you build market stalls cheaper. The red player is going to take the diver, which gives you victory points for picking up treasures. And then the green player is going to go ahead and go for the purchaser. Okay, so after everybody has chosen their roles, then it's time for the action selection phase. Now the way this works is each player, in turn order, will place 2 discs onto the actions up here at the top of the board. So the purple player, let's see, I'm the builder, so I'm definitely going to want to build this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and put one of my discs on build, so I definitely want to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw my other disc onto sail, so I can go ahead and try to get a little bit of a better position. So now the red player gets a turn. So he gets to place 2 of his markers. So what he's going to do, since he took the diver, he's definitely wanting to go diving, looking for treasures. So he's going to want to explore, and he also is going to need to sail, because currently his boat is on this tile. He needs to get to this tile so he can get these treasures. So the green player, he is the purchaser. So he can actually do what he wants to do from where he's at right now. The purchaser helps you buy these cubes, which you can send away on boats and to get money. So he's in a pretty good position, so he's going to want to buy for sure on this turn. And he doesn't really have to move, but he may want to, just to set up for a later round. But we'll say that he's going to buy, and then he's also going to draw on the island, because that'll get you some points as well. Alright, so then it comes back to the purple player. He gets to place 2 more discs. So as of right now, things are looking pretty good. He's not really in any danger of getting knocked out of any actions, except for maybe the sail action. So he's going to go ahead and throw another disc on the sail action. And then he will also throw a disc onto the fishing action, because since he's building the stall, he's going to want to get some fish so he can sell it at the stall to get some money. So back to the red player. Now he definitely has to move, so he's going to go ahead and throw another action on another marker on sail, and then he's going to throw one onto the rest action. Which reminds me, I actually forgot to do something. At the beginning of the round, you're supposed to flip over this top tourism tile and see how many tourists are available for the round. So this round there's 2 tourists. So we're going to take these 2 white pawns and put them here in the tourism office. Alright, so now the green player gets to place his 2 discs. So the green player, since he is wanting to buy goods and draw, he doesn't actually have to move. So he's not going to worry about fighting for the sailing action this turn. He will, however, go ahead and try to build a building. So green is actually going to put his last action disc on the transport space so he can get some of these tourists onto the island. Okay, so we come back to purple. Purple gets to make his last action selection. Now, let's see. Red can easily tie with him if he goes into this one. But since he's first in turn order, he will break that tie. However, if red puts a 3rd one in and he doesn't have a 3rd one, red is going to get to take that action first, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but that's something to keep in mind. What else? Now, since I'm going to build a stall and I'm also going to be fishing, I may be able to go ahead and sail too. So let's go ahead and check out sail here. Hopefully we can sail as in sail fish, not sail your boat. So we'll go there. So now red gets to place his last disc. He's going to go ahead and also, what does he red want to do? Red is also going to try to build on the island. And then green. Green is going to... He's going to go ahead and go on build again, so that he'll get to take the first build action. Okay, so once all the action discs have been placed, we go ahead and go into the actual performing of the actions. Now the way that works is the start player will get to pull discs from an action where he has a majority. So where he has the most discs, or if there's a tie, if he can break it through player order. So he has to pull a disc from somewhere where he has majority. So let's see. He can fish, sail. Those are his three options. So he can't actually fish because the current tile we're on has no fish. The closest fish is here, and then there's two over here as well. So purple can't fish. He also can't sail fish because he doesn't have fish. So purple's going to go ahead and really do the only thing he can do, and that is sail. So when you take the sail action, you can move your boat up to 3 spaces, and you can only move on water tiles. So purple's going to go ahead and move 2 tiles to this one. Okay, now we move to red. Now red gets a chance to do something. So he can explore, he can rest, or he can sail. Now he needs to sail so that he can explore on his next action. So what red's going to do, instead of sailing, he's going to go ahead and take the rest action. So what the rest action does is there's these 4 tiles over here, and red will get to pick one of them, and he'll gain the benefit from that tile. So this one will give you 1 victory point. This one will give you 1 Vatu, which is the currency of the game. This one will give you a victory point and a Vatu, and then this one will give you the start player token. So this is done secretly, so red's going to take the start player token. He'll put that face down, and then we'll flip these one over so that nobody else knows what red picked. Right. So that was red's action. Now we're on to green. He pretty much has it wide open. He can do whatever he wants. So what green's going to do first is he's going to go ahead and buy some goods. So he's going to pull this one off. Now the way this works is it lets you buy 1 good from an island that you're adjacent to. These cubes are goods. The goods are, the purple is beef, orange is, I think it's kava, and then the white cubes are copra. Honestly, I'm not sure what kava or copra are, but yeah, pretty much just go by the colors. So green is going to buy beef, which is the best good in the game that you can get. And when you buy a good, you come down here and look at this chart. You see how much the good costs, and then how many points it's worth. So he's going to buy the purple good, which is going to cost him $3. So green's going to drop down to 0. Everybody else is going to stay at 3. And since he has the purchaser role, that allows him to grab another purple cube from the supply. So we actually got 2 purple cubes. And whenever you buy cubes, they go over here on these boats, and they always go on the topmost boat with a demand for that cube. So there's a demand for 1 purple here, and then 2 purple down here. So we'll throw the second one here. So whenever you place a good on one of these boats, you'll get prosperity points depending on what good you placed. So since we placed 2 beef cubes, we're going to get 10 points. So green has jumped into an early lead at 10 points. Everybody else is still at 0. If you're ever able to complete the demands of a boat, you'll actually get 2 bonus points. So if he would have put, say there was a purple and an orange here, and he would have put the white one, then he would have gotten 1 point for placing a white cube, and then an additional 2 points for completing this boat. Okay, so now we're back to purple, and purple has 2 options. He can either fish or he can sail. Now he can't sail because he doesn't, first, he doesn't have any fish, but he doesn't have a hut, so he can't sail into the hut. So his only option right now is to fish, because he is on a tile that has 2 fish on it. So he's going to take the fishing action. The way this works is you look at how many fish are on the tile with your boat. So it's 2 fish. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take the tile that's 2 fish. And then you'll take one of the fish tokens and put it back in the supply. So the next person that fishes here will only get one fish. So that's purple's action. Now we're back to red. So red can either sail or explore. Well, he can't explore because he's not on a tile with any treasure. So red is definitely going to sail. So we're going to pull these two. And now red is going to move one space because he wants to get here for these treasures. Okay, so we're back to green. Now, this is where green can be kind of nasty if he wants to. If green doesn't take the build action, he's going to be blocking red and purple out of it, effectively. Now, that's not a huge deal for red because he doesn't have any actions that require a building this turn. However, red does. Purple. For purple to sell his fish, he's going to need a stall. And if green draws that out, then purple's not going to be able to build a stall. So green's going to be mean. So what green's going to do is he's going to go ahead and come over here and take the draw action. So what the draw action does is it lets you basically draw a turtle in the sand. And you get 3 victory points for doing that. So, and you can only do that when there's a one of these spaces on a tile, and of course you have to be adjacent to the tile. So, green has done that, and he will get 3 more points. So green's doing pretty good. Alright, so we're back to purple. Now purple is in a bit of a predicament now. He has only one option, and it's actually not going to work out for him. Because to sell fish, you have to have a hut on an adjacent island, and purple has no huts. So, he has to take this action, but nothing will happen, because it is an illegal action at this point. So we move on to green. Oh, sorry, red. Kind of the same deal with red. He only has one option, because green's blocking it out. So, he's going to go ahead and explore, which is fine. So when you explore, same thing as with the fish. You look at how many treasure tokens are in the tile with you. There's 2 in this case. So he'll take the 2 tile, put it in his supply. We'll return one of these back to the supply. And then because red has the diver profession, he's going to go ahead and get points equal to the number on the tile he took. So red's going to score 2 points. Okay. Okay. Now, we move on to green. Now again, green has the opportunity to be really nasty right now. He can take the build action and free it up for red and purple, or he can go ahead and take the transport action and make red and purple both forfeit that action for this round, which again is pretty mean. So we're going to go ahead and do that just so I can demonstrate kind of some of the terrible things you can do to people in this game. So green's going to take the transport action. Now what that does is it lets you, and that's actually not, you know what? I'm actually not going to do that because green can make some money. Actually, yes, this is pretty good. Green could be really nasty right now, but what green really wants to do is let everybody build buildings, because the more buildings that are on that island, whenever he brings in tourists, the more money he's going to get. So green's going to take the build action. Green is fine with that. Oh, I didn't even notice. Green has no money because the green spent money buying beef. So green is actually not even going to get to build. Okay, so we'll move on to purple. But this is going to work out best for green in the end, so you'll see how that works out. So we move on to purple. Purple has one action, and that's build. And he breaks the tie because of turn order. So he gets to build a building. Normally, a market stall costs 3 Vatus, which is, again, the currency. However, purple has the builder. Therefore, purple can build a market stall for only 1 Vatu. So we'll throw the stall out, get that back into place. So, purple has to pay 1 Vatu, and his stall has been built. Now we move on to red. Red will also build. However, red has to pay the full price. So red will pay 3 Vatus, and he will also put a stall onto this island. Now we get to green. Green's last action. So green will take the transport action. The way that works is you're bringing a tourist to the island and showing them around the island. So you get to come over here and grab a tourist pawn, and you get to place it on an island that you're adjacent to. Now each island will have this number with the tourist pawn icon that tells the maximum number of tourists that can be on that island. So there can be 5 total. So we'll go ahead and drop this first tourist on the island. And what happens is green's going to get 1 Vatu for each market stall on the island. So the tourist is, going around buying different stuff. So green will get $2. So we'll go ahead and move green up. Alright. And that is the first round. Alright, so really quick before we go into the second round, we have to resolve the rest tokens. So red was the only player who took a rest token. He took the start player rest token, so he'll go ahead and return that to the supply, and then he will take the start player marker. So red is now the start player. Alright, now we move into the second round. So a few things happen for a cleanup for each round. So first we advance the marker, then we're going to remove any tourist pawns that are still in the tourism office, and we're going to draw a new tourism tile. So this time there's going to be 1 tourist, so we'll go ahead and put him right back in. Next we're going to look at these demand tiles. If any of them are completely filled, they're going to leave the board, they're going to slide up, and a new one's going to come out. So none of them are filled, so nothing happens. Next, any islands who have no more goods cubes on them, the cubes will be replenished. So in this case, we still got goods cubes, we're alright. Next, we're going to look at the fish market price. At the beginning of each round, it will reset to 3. It's already at 3, so we're good to go. And then the start player gets to place the next 2 tiles onto the board. Now these are visible in between rounds, so you can kind of get an idea of what's coming up. So red is the start player, so he's going to go ahead and place these tiles. There's a couple rules for placing tiles, and it's displayed on the board up here. Right. So 2 island tiles can't touch, and each tile has to touch at least 2 other tiles. So red's going to come down here. He's going to put this island here, and he's going to put this one over here. Now we move back to character selection. So the way this works is each player in turn order will select a new character, return their old character, and then play will pass to the next player. So the position red's in right now, let's see, what does red want to do? He doesn't want to move more. He doesn't, his treasures, he doesn't need to sell. He could do the god, that would be nice. Preacher, the beggar. So let's say red's gonna go. There's not really great choices right now because red doesn't really know what he's trying to go for yet. So red's gonna take the guide. The guide's a pretty good catch-all in my opinion because tourists are always good, and if you can send a tourist somewhere that has a drawing on the island, you'll get 2 extra points. So red will take the guide, and then he will return the diver back to the supply. Now green will get to choose one. So green, what does green want to do? So we've got these 2 new islands out, and actually we need to go ahead and put some goods on these things. Let's see here. Right. So these islands are pretty ripe for drawing. There's 2 drawing spots on each of them. And there's some beef. Now beef is pretty good, as you know. So maybe green wants to try to get that beef this turn. However, he already has the purchaser, so he can't take that again. So what green's going to do, he's going to take the preacher. He's going to put the purchaser back. Now what the preacher does, I may not get to demonstrate it. I'll explain what he does later if I don't get to demonstrate it. Hopefully I'll get to demonstrate it, and you'll kind of see why the preacher's good. So now we come back to purple. He's going to take... What will purple take? So now purple has fish, and purple is going to take the... Well, purple doesn't have a whole lot of money, but he can sell his fish, so that would be nice. So he's going to go ahead and take the purchaser. And he will return the builder. Okay. So now we move back into the action selection phase. So red will start it. He'll get to place 2 markers. So this turn, red is definitely wanting to bring in some tourism. But if he can build a building, that would be nice too, but he has no money. So, red needs some money. How are we going to get some money? So we could go fishing and sell that. That would get us a little bit of money. So let's go ahead and look at that. So we're going to look at fishing and selling for red. Alright, now green's up. Green, what does green want to do? Green has the preacher. So green is going to go with transport and then sail. So he's still on the starting tile, so he wants to get to some better waters. Okay, so now we're at purple. Purple has the purchaser, so he's definitely going to want to buy, but he's going to need a little bit of revenue first before he can get that beef cube, which would be the best possible outcome. So he's going to want to sell. Red's already on sale, but he's going to go ahead and come in with both actions to try to wrestle that away from red. So now we're back to red. Now red, since he has the guide, he's definitely going to want to send in a tourist. So I think he's going to go ahead and go all in on tourism. So he can make sure to do it, because there's only one tourist this round, and he really needs to maximize having the guide. Okay, so green. Now green has the preacher, which again I haven't explained yet, but we'll get there in a minute. So let's see, what would green like to do? Now green definitely needs some money, so he's going to go ahead and go into fish, and then green's in a tricky situation because he can't sell his goods because he can't afford to build a market stall. So green's going to go ahead and put his other action on draw for now. Okay, so we're back to purple. Purple has his 2 actions. So purple definitely wants to purchase this turn. Okay, he's going to get some revenue from selling. So he's going to go ahead, he's definitely going to throw one of these on buy because he wants to buy. But he can also fish because he's already sitting on a tile that has some fish on it. So he may want to go for that as well. So we're going to go and throw purple in on fishing again. So back to red. Red gets his last choice. Now red's the first player, so he can break ties. So he can kind of assert some dominance over purple here. So he may want to go ahead and do that. However, purple could easily come in on fish and screw up red. We'll play this out. We'll see. It's going to get mean probably, but we'll see how it turns out. Okay, green. Green's last action. Green is going to go ahead and go. What will green go with? Let's see. You know what? That won't do him any good. Green's going to go with the rest action. Okay, so we're back to purple. Purple is going to put his second one on fish to knock red out of that. Okay, so now we're in the action, performing the actions. So red goes first. He has to perform an action somewhere where he has a majority. So as of right now, he has 2 majorities. He has transport and he has sell. Now, let's see. He would definitely like to transport. He could make a little money doing that. And then he could also make money selling. Now, if he sells early, he's going to get, top market value. However, so the first thing red's going to do is he's going to transport. So we're going to pull these. He's going to grab the 1 tourist. He's going to go ahead and drop it on this island, and red will get $2. Done. Next, green what does green want to do? Green has a lot of options right now. So first, green's going to draw. So green is going to draw on the sand down here, and that's going to gain 3 points. Up to 16. Okay, purple. Purple has two options. He can either buy or he can sell. Now, he won't be able to buy that beef because he doesn't have enough money. So he's definitely going to want to sell. Oh, but he can't. Actually, he can't sell because red has a majority there. Right. So he has to fish. So purple has to fish. So purple's gonna take off his cubes. Whoa. And he's gonna go ahead and fish up this last bit here. So we'll remove that and he'll pick up a 1 tile and stick it in his supply. Alright. Now we're back to red. Red has the majority in 2 areas. He can either fish or he can sell. So I think red is going to go ahead and fish. So, same deal. He'll remove this. And then he will pick a tile with a 1 on it. And there we go. Okay. Green. Now green kind of got shafted on this turn. He can't transport because there's no more tourists. He can't fish because there's no more fish on the board. He can still move, and he can of course rest. And also he's not going to get to use this preacher. I'll go ahead and explain the preacher. The way the preacher works is if you get put in a situation where you don't have majority on any action, you can use the preachers to still take an action. So say for example on purple's, well no, that won't work either. Say for example purple was in this situation, it was purple's turn and purple had the preacher. Purple could use the preacher to go ahead and take this action even though red technically has him blocked. That's what the preacher is good for. It's kind of hard to know how good the preacher is going to be or if you'll even need him, but it's kind of a good catch-all if you don't know what else to take. So we're on green. What's green gonna do? Green's gonna go ahead and rest. Now green could take start player, but he's second, so he's happy with that. But what he does want is this one right here. He wants a victory point and $1. So we'll stick that over here face down. Okay. Back to purple. So purple only has one option, and that is to buy, which sucks for purple because his whole plan was to sell his fish so he could buy the beef, but now he can't buy the beef because red has him blocked. So purple has to pull this disc and he has to buy. So what he's going to buy, he can buy either the orange cube or the white one. So of course he's going to buy the orange one. So he'll take that. It'll come over here. That'll cost him $2, which will put him down to 0. And then since he has the purchaser roll, he will take another orange cube from the supply, and it'll come over here too. And he will get 6 victory points. So purple finally on the board with 6. Alright, on to red. Red has one option, that is to sell. So whenever you sell, you're going to look at the fish tiles you have. So red has one fish tile. We're going to look at the fish market price. You multiply your tile, and you do them one at a time by the market price. So 1 times 3 is $3. So red makes $3, putting him up at 5. Now this tile is removed from the game, and the market price drops 1 jump. Okay. On to green. Green basically has 2 actions that do nothing and sail. So he's going to go ahead and sail. He can go up to 3 spaces. He's going to go ahead and move here. and hope to kind of go out this way. Green kind of got screwed this turn. Okay, so now we're on to purple. He's got one action, that's sail, which is what he wanted to do last turn, but he got knocked out of it. But, well, he'll do alright. So, I didn't mention this for red. You have to be, whenever you sail, you have to be adjacent to one of your market stalls, which red was. Okay, so purple also has a stall up here. So he's going to sell his first tile, which is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. This will bump down. And then he'll also sell a second tile. 1 times 1 is 1. So purple makes a total of $5. These are removed from the game. Now we're back to green, and as I said, green, basically these are bomb actions. So green's going to remove these. Nothing's going to happen. Alright, that's the end of the second round of Vanuatu. Okay, so we're going to go run through one more round. I'm going to do some more bold kind of strategies to show you guys some more, different things you can do in this game. So at the end of the second round, green gets his rest tile, which is 1.1 coin. So we'll stick that back over here. Green gets coin. Green gets point. Okay. Now we are doing the cleanup. So tourists are removed. There are none. We get a new tourist tile, which is 0. So there will be no tourists this turn. That's interesting. Okay. We check the demand tiles. None of them are filled, so nothing will happen there. We look at the island tiles. All of them still have goods on them, so we're good to go there. We reset the fish market price, so that'll go back up to 3. Then the first player, which is red, gets to place the next 2 tiles. So let's take a look at these. So this one, if I can get it focused here, this one will have 3 treasures and 1 fish on it. And then this one will have, focus, 3 fish. So red has to kind of think about what he wants. So he's going to want to place, the tile he's more interested in closer to him. Though really, you can get pretty much anywhere you need to go at any point. So it doesn't really matter until the last turn or two. But red's going to place that one there. So whenever you place tiles that have fish and whatnot in them, you're going to go ahead and put discs on them to show them. So we got 3 fish there. Over here we have 3 treasures and 1 fish. So that's been set up. Now we are back to character selection once again. So red, let's see, let's think of something bold for red to do. Red is going to go for these. Therefore red is definitely going to take the diver. And he'll put the god back. Alright, green. What does green want to do this turn? Green is in the lead right now, but he kind of got screwed on the last turn. He didn't really get to do much. Now he's in a position where he could buy that beef. However, purple still has the purchaser role, so that might not be optimal. Now he could go fishing over here. Actually, yeah, that's what green's going to do. He's a little behind on money. So he's going to come over here. He's going to take the fisherman role. Okay. And now purple. What does purple want to do? Purple has a lot of money. He's not going to be able to take the purchaser again, so that's not great. I think, yeah, purple is going to build another building. So purple's going to grab the builder and throw back the purchaser. Okay. Now, here we go. Action selection for the final time for this walkthrough. And we're in the 3rd round. Red starts it. So red is wanting these treasures. So red is definitely going to want to explore. He's going to go all in on explore. Green's the fisherman. He definitely wants to fish. He's going to throw 1 on fish and 1 on sail because he's going to have to make his way over there. Purple. Purple's the builder. He's wanting to build, so he will build. And what else will purple do? Purple will also draw. Okay, back to red. Let's see, red's definitely, yeah, red really needs to sail. He wants to get over there and pick up those treasures before anybody else can. So now we're on to green. Now green also needs to sail, but as of right now nobody's really contending with him, so he's not going to worry about that too much. But he does need to build a building, because maybe he can sell the fish he gets this turn. Let's see how this works out. So we'll go 2 on build. Now we're back to purple. Now purple is building. He's also drawing in the sand. He has enough money though, he can also go ahead and buy that beef. So he's going to go ahead and go with this. And you know what, he's tired of going last, so he's going to try to take that star player token. Red. See, red is exploring, he's sailing and exploring. What else would red like to do? Red is also he's going to, he could fish, or he could draw, or he could build. He could really do anything. So red's going to go with build. Alright, and green. What is green wanting to do? He's going to fish. Yeah, okay, good. He's wanting to sell those fish. And then purple, who is kind of all over the place this turn. He's also, well, no, he's not going to move, so he's not going to have anything to fish. What does purple want to do? Let's see. Purple's actually going to throw another one on here just to increase his chances of building, I do believe. Yes, okay. So, action, execution now. So we're starting with red, who's the start player. He can either explore or sail. So he's definitely going to sail because he could explore and get 1, or he could sail and get 3. So we're sailing. Okay. Red pulls his. He's going to move 1 space. Okay. Green. Green can either build, sail, fish, or sell. So let's look where green's at. He can build, but he may want to go ahead and try to block everybody else out of that for a little bit. He can sail. Yeah, okay. Green is going to sail. And he's going to move. Whoops, he's going to move 1 space. Okay. Purple. Purple has 3 options. He can rest, he can draw, or he can buy. So we're going to go ahead and draw. May as well, right? And purple is going to draw on this island. And he is going to get 3 points, moving him up to 9. Okay, red. Red has 1 and only 1 option, and that is to explore. Now red, well, I'll explain as we get there. So red's going to explore. So red is going to get a 3 explore tile, and then 1 of these is gone. Okay. Now we are back to green. Green has a few options. He can build, he can fish, or he can sell. So he's going to go ahead, since he's already on the tile, he's going to go ahead and fish. So he's going to remove 1 of these, and we'll throw it across the room like I just did, and then he will get a 3 fish tile. Alright, back to purple. Purple has 2 options. He can buy, he can rest. He's going to go ahead and buy, because why not? And he will, of course, buy the beef, which will go onto this boat. And he will buy the beef for $3, putting him down to 2. And he will get 5 victory points, putting him up to 14. Right. Now we're on to red. Now red got screwed. Though it's not really an important action, but since red holds no majorities, he has to remove this and forfeit the action. So red cannot build. So now we're on to green. Green has 2 options. He can sell or he can build. Now he can't build until, or he can't sell until he builds. So clearly green is going to build. Also, I forgot to mention this. Green had the fisherman, so he got 3 points earlier when he fished, which is pretty good. Alright, so now he is building. So green pays all of his money, and he's going to build a hut right there. Okay. Now we are back to purple. Purple can build or rest. So purple's going to go ahead and rest. And of course he would definitely want to go for the start player token. Okay. Now we're back to green. Green is going to sell. And this is going to work out pretty nice for green, and I'll actually get to kind of show you something that I haven't demonstrated yet. So, green is selling to an adjacent hut. He has 3 fish. So, 3 times the current market value, which is 3, he will make $9. This will drop down. Now, the way the bank works, I haven't explained this yet. Anytime you would cross the threshold into getting $10, your money is automatically spent. It's gone, and you go back to 0. But in return, you get 5 victory points. So you can never have more than $9. So say I would have been at 4 just now, and I got 9 points. What would happen is I would go up, and I would break 10, and I would technically go to 13. So I'd be back on 3, and I would have gotten 5 points. So I would have moved up 5. Of course, that didn't happen. That's just, demonstration. So I made $9 off of that, so I'm at 9, basically. Right, so we're back to purple. This will be the last action that I demonstrate. Purple is going to build. Purple has the builder, so he gets to build for $1. And he will drop one of his houses. He can come in here, or he can come in here. Now at the end of the game, you get bonus points if you have houses on island, like multiple houses on islands that have multiple tourists. So purple would definitely want to go ahead and build here. So at the end of the game, he's going to get a little bit more of a bonus off of that. Alright, and that is the end of the 3rd round. I think, for the most part, I've demonstrated everything there is about this game. There's a few roles I didn't go over. There's the navigator. He lets you move an extra 1 to 3 spaces if you take the sale action. The merchant lets you sell without a hut, so you can sell fish while you're at sea. I think we did the sand drawer. He gives you extra points when you draw. The beggar lets you convert 1 to 3 victory points into 1 to 3 money. And we did everything else. Right, okay. Is pretty much Vanuatu. As I mentioned during the game, it can get pretty cutthroat. If the other players decide to do that to you. But generally you can avoid it, through careful planning and always having a backup plan. I really like this game a lot because of that. Because whenever everybody else is taking their turns, you really are engaged in watching what they're doing. Because they could do. There's so many ways that they could knock you out of what you want to do. And there's a nice balance, because you've really got to set up combos. Kind of what I did there toward the end, where I fished, built, and sold fish all in the same turn. Somebody could easily, during the action selection phase, just throw down half their discs on one of those actions and just completely block you out of it. But the nice balance there is that if they do that, then they're wasting their own possible actions. They're wasting their own time, just intentionally trying to block you. I really like that dynamic. I really wish this game had a wider distribution. It looks really gorgeous looking game, great components, really thick tiles. I've heard that just looking around Board Game Geek that there's some kind of issue with a lot of people who kickstarted it, and the designer not delivering on getting the games out to them. And that's really unfortunate, because this is a really good game, and I don't really know. I don't want to jump into the politics of that. I don't really know what has happened with the designer and all that, but it really is a great game. And if you get a chance, try it out. Plays 3 to 5 players, and there's an official variant from the designer on Board Game Geek for a 2-player version, which the 2-player version is just like super cutthroat, I think, because you can use dummy players, and you can kind of block other people without having to take a hit yourself on losing action. So, I mean, you can be really mean in the 2-player game. But it looks like a nice variant. It looks like it would work. But yeah, that's Vanuatu. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully now you know how to play. That's pretty much everything. There's a couple in-game scoring, little bits and pieces. But that's about it. Alright, thanks.